From orbit, Great Britain appears as a tiny boot-shaped island floating just off the coast of mainland Europe. But as you move down to street level, the scale of its massive global presence begins to shift. This is a highly concentrated nation. Because of its triangular geography, no matter where you stand in England, you are never more than 75 miles away from the cold waters of the surrounding sea. This small geography birthed a language that is now the most widely spoken on Earth. It established the modern roles of football and produced legendary literature that continues to define storytelling across the globe. Despite that massive cultural footprint, the reality of English daily life is remarkably quiet. The culture is deeply anchored in polite, comfortable, and highly reliable routines. The epic history and the cozy routine are the two gears that keep the country moving, balancing a massive global reach against the domestic necessity of a quiet afternoon. For centuries, the island has been protected by natural fortresses. Arriving from Europe by sea, the first landmark is a sheer white wall of chalk standing over 350 feet tall, the iconic White Cliffs of Dover. Inland, the landscape is marked by prehistoric mysteries. 5,000 years ago, people moved stones weighing as much as a heavy truck, stacking them 13 feet high without modern machinery. That ancient stone-building instinct evolved into over 4,000 castles. These fortresses feature thick walls and moats built specifically to protect the land through centuries of conflict. These stones house one of the oldest surviving monarchies on Earth. The institution is defined by rigid ranks of soldiers in bright red coats and towering black bearskin hats, serving as living symbols of national history. Living amidst these ancient monuments and strict royal traditions creates a heavy, intimidating national backdrop. This monumental environment requires a specific type of counterbalance. The English find that balance by shrinking the vast, rainy landscape into manageable spaces. A classic cottage garden tames the wildness of nature into a densely packed, peaceful hobby right outside the kitchen door. The preferred meal by the coast is famously humble. Most people choose a piece of white fish fried in golden batter and thick, salty potato chips wrapped tightly in paper. These coastal moments form quiet rituals of reliability. Every Sunday afternoon, families gather for a roast of meat and potatoes, a weekly tradition that has remained unshakable for hundreds of years. The centerpiece of that meal provides absolute comfort. The Yorkshire pudding is a light, fluffy bread that puffs up in the oven, designed perfectly to soak up hot gravy on a rainy afternoon. This preference for domestic routine is best seen in the 160 million cups of tea drunk every day. Tea time serves as a deliberate excuse to slow down, sit with friends, and share a tray of scones and finger sandwiches. Even the sports reflect this love for unhurried tradition. Cricket is played on vast village greens by players in all-white uniforms, requiring a level of patience where a single game can last for days. All predictable rituals. The intersection of ancient grandeur and domestic comfort creates a specific cultural philosophy: the stiff upper lip. This mindset is summarized by a single mantra: keep calm and carry on. In public, this translates to maintaining a polite, steady order. It manifests in the cultural insistence on waiting in queues, treating neighbors with kindness, and keeping a positive attitude even when things are difficult. This steadfast reliability is built into the city itself. The massive bell known as Big Ben chimes from a clock tower that has been ringing for 150 years, a clock so accurate that it rarely loses a second, even during the biggest storms. This commitment to order, from the accuracy of the Elizabeth Tower to the daily ritual of the kettle, allows a small geographic island to maintain a persistent, massive footprint across a much larger world.